Hi, in this video we are going to see how to stitch the simple crop top with pleated skirt. So small highlights I have done detailing with pleats. So let's move on to the video. In this video you are going to see how to make the pattern, laying, cutting and stitching. So here I have used 30 centimeter fabric for the yoke part, and for the skirt part I have used around 1.5 meter of fabric. Here the fabric is in single fold. Okay, one fold I have done. So the measurements are not clear in the paper, so it's not covered in the camera, so I'll write on the fabric what are the measurements required to do the crop top. So first is shoulder. So short form of shoulder is SH. Shoulder to waist length, so WL is waist length, CR is chest round, WR is waist round, AH is armhole, SL is sleeve length and SO is sleeve open. So these are the basic measurements required to do the crop top. First draw the reference line. So reference line is nothing but it will not have any measurements. Sometimes the cutting will not be proper in the fabric. So we will draw some reference line, and from that reference line we'll start our measurements. So first you have to mark the height of the top. Here we are doing the draft for crop top. So crop top height should be exactly, it should end towards our navel point. Okay. So here I am marking 9 inch. You can mark based on your kid's measurement. Draw the straight line. So this will be a shoulder line. So here the kid's shoulder is 11 inch. So you have to mark half of shoulder measurement. So to find half measurement, fold the tape into half like this. So this way will help you to find the half measurement exactly. Give a press there. So half of 11 is 5.5. Mark it on the top of the line. So from the shoulder measurement, mark the shoulder slope half inch. So now you are going to mark the neck width. For neck width I am just folding the tape into half. So I am making that half of shoulder into half, and that will be the neck width. And connect the neck width point to the shoulder slope like this. Now you have to mark your armhole measurement. So here the kid's armhole is 12 inch. So I am marking into half 6 inch. From the shoulder slope I am marking the armhole, and that line will be your chest line. Now we have to mark the chest round measurement. Here the chest round measurement for the kid is 21.5. So you have to mark 1/4 of chest round. First fold the tape into half and again one more half to find the 1/4 measurement. So here 1/4 of chest round is 6/1/4. So mark 6/1/4 on the chest line. See, on the chest line, from that armhole line you should have 1 inch difference when you mark the chest round measurement. So here I am having only 1/4. So in 1 inch, apart from 1/4 we have 3/4. That I am marking inwards. Okay, and connect to the armhole line like this and extend the chest line. So from that intersection point we should have 1 inch difference like this on the chest line. Okay, so if you are getting half inch and remaining half inch, you have to mark it inwards and mark the slanting line. So afterwards you have to mark the ease. You should not calculate the ease with your chest round measurement. The chest round itself should have 1 inch difference. Okay, so here I have given half inch ease. So when you are seeing the pattern, when you are seeing the video, you will get some doubts and confusion. Take the body measurement, kid's body measurement and work out. So you will get clarified with this particular part of this armhole. Okay, this is very important for the kids. Only then they'll get the fitting armhole curve. So I'm marking the 1/4 of waist round here. So plus 1 inch for dot. No need to give ease in the waist round. So I'm giving dot here and back open, so no need to give ease in the waist round. So if you're not giving any open in the back, it's going to be like a bow with the back side. So if you're not going to give any open, or if you're going to close it with the zip, you have to give the ease in the waist round. So now for dot, I'm just folding into half. So that will be the midpoint of your dot intake. And the height of dot is 3.5 or 4 inch. So I'm just marking exactly till the chest line, 1 centimeter down. So the standard measurement is 3.5 or 4 inch dot height and half inch on either side. Now connect the chest to waist like this. Now we have to draw the curve. So I am going to use this French curve. This French curve will be very applicable for this kids measurement. Don't go with this bigger French curve. That will not give the proper curve. Take a midpoint of this armhole line. See, that slanting line will be your armhole line. This will not work. So inverts half inch. Take a midpoint, inverts half inch. Using the French curve, draw the line like this and stop till this half inch marking. Now align the French curve to the chest line and draw the curve like this. So this will not, this line is not working, okay? This slanting line is the new line. Now you are drawing the back curve. So front curve is done, back curve is done. So when you measure, you have to get your armhole measurement here. So I need 12 inch, but I am getting 14 inch. So what you have to do is, you have to shift the line up. So this many people will not do this. That's why you are getting loose in the underarm for the kids. So if you want a perfect fitting for the kids, like in the underarm part everywhere, you have to do this shifting process. So I am shifting 1 inch line. Chest line I am shifting 1 inch on top, and you have to redo this curve process what I have done now. So take a midpoint of this new line, mark half inch inwards and draw the curve till half inch, and again align the French curve to the chest line and continue the curve to the chest line. Now you have to connect the chest line, extend the line and connect the chest line like this. So after connecting, draw the back arm curve. So the front arm will go inside, back arm will get aligned to the arm line. So you can see here we got our measurement exactly 12.5, half inch extra is fine because we gave ease here, right? So that half inch will be included to the armhole. Now we'll draw the neck depth. So neck depth for back side I am keeping 1 inch. For front 3.5 or 4 inch. So this dress I am making for a 7-year-old kid. So using French curve, draw the neckline shape like this. So when you want to try the neckline with the free hand, you should never take the hand till you are completing the neckline. So in one stretch you have to do it. So here using French curve I am going to do the sweetheart neckline. So whatever neckline you are going to do, it should come inside that square box what we have made with the neck width and neck depth. So this is how the sweetheart neckline will look. So here we are drafting the pattern in one layer of fabric, which means one fold. Okay, so to cut the front you have to fold the fabric like this. So you will get 2 folding, which means 4 layer of fabric, front and back you will get it. But this will work out only when you have same measurement for the front and back without any open. So I'll tell you how much seam allowance you have to give first. In the side you have to give 1 inch. For the arm part you have to give 1 centimeter. For shoulder you have to give 1 centimeter. For neckline I'm giving 1/4. Okay. So yes, as I told you, this will work out only when you're having same measurement for the front and back. So 1/2 inch in the bottom. But here I am going to give front open, invisible zip. So in such case, you should not fold like this and cut. Okay, I'm going to cut only one layer of fabric. So after that, I'll place it on the other layer and I'll cut the front. I'll show you how to do that. So if you are going to keep only small open at back side, you have to fold it like I did before, and you can cut the 2 layers of fabric in one stretch. So now I am cutting only the back part. So I am cutting as per the seam allowance what I have mentioned, 1/4 for neckline, 1 centimeter for the shoulder, 1 inch for the side, and I am not getting the proper direction to cut the armhole, so I'll just cut like that and I'll turn and cut now with the seam allowance. Okay, so the back part is done. Now we'll see how to cut the front part. So now to cut the front, take the leftover fabric. Place the back pattern and check where the pattern fit exactly. Here it is not fitting. And the marking is there. I want to make the measurements clear for you in the video. So I am just going with the plain fabric. So mark 1 centimeter. So either you can place it on the open side or you can place it on the folded side, and you can cut and divide the folded part. I'll show you that. So I'm placing on towards the folded side. I marked 1 centimeter. I'm cutting the pattern with the exact measurement of back pattern. So now what you have to do is cut and divide the front pattern, because the front is going to have open. Now we have to trace the front neckline and front arm. So I am taking the trace of neck width. So to trace, we can use the carbon paper. Place the carbon paper down like this, and using trace wheel or some pencil, take the mark of this front arm neckline like this. Now you can open and see. So give seam allowance for that exact measurement and cut it. 1 centimeter for the armhole, and for the neckline 1/4. So next you have to trace the dot. For dot also you can use the carbon paper like this. So just fold the carbon paper in the back also, because front and back we need the dot tracing. So just draw the lines multiple times on the same dot lines. So you'll get the markings like this. And so when you fold and stitch the dot, there will be small change in the shape in the waist. There will be little curvy. So I'm just marking 1/2 inch there. Like this. And using French curve or straight line, you can just draw the curve like this and cut it. Okay, so yes, our yoke part is done. Next we have to draft the sleeve. So for sleeve I am taking the leftover fabric. We need 4 layers of fabric. First one fold and second one fold like this. So overall you will be having 4 layers of fabrics. Okay. Now draw the reference line. So 1 folder and 2 layers, you can see, overall 4 layers. So from the reference line, mark the length of the sleeve what you want. So here I am going to mark the sleeve length as elbow length 8.5 inch. If you want 1/2 inch, you can make it as a 5 inch or 4 inch. So here I am going to make it as a elbow length. Till the hand knee I want the sleeve length. So 8.5 inch, and draw the line like this. And mark your half of armhole plus 1/2 inch ease. Half of armhole plus 1/2 inch ease you have to mark it. Draw the straight line which connects to the sleeve length like this. and mark the cap height. For 7-year-old, the cap height will be 3 inch. Draw the diagonal line which connects to the top of the sleeve crown. Take the midpoint of the diagonal line like this. Fold the tape into half, so you'll find the midpoint exactly. So place your French curve like this. Draw the curve which connects to the midpoint and turn the French curve like this. From the bottom, draw the curve which connects to the midpoint. So this will be your front arm. For back arm, from the top of sleeve crown, just draw the curve like this which connects to the cap height. So I'm drawing the straight line from the cap height to the sleeve length, towards the sleeve length like this. So this line will help you where the sleeve curve should get finished exactly, because the sleeve curve end, right, that should be even for back and front in the end. Starting and ending point of the armhole sleeve curve should be equal like this. That's why I'm drawing the straight line there. Now measure the arm curve. So it matches exactly. So the final step of the sleeve drafting is marking the sleeve open. So half of sleeve open plus half inch you have to mark and connect the sleeve open marking to the cap height like this. So now you have to mark the seam allowance. For side 1 inch seam allowance. On top of the sleeve curve you have to give 1 centimeter seam allowance, in the bottom half inch seam allowance. So I'm going to give their pleat, so I'm giving half inch seam allowance. If you are going to fold and stitch, you have to give 1 inch seam allowance for the sleeve open. So half inch and 1 centimeter are almost same. There will not be much difference. Maybe 1/8 difference will be there. Now cut and take out the sleeve pattern. So after cutting the sleeve pattern, give the middle notch. Now open the sleeve like this and give the seam allowance cut for the front arm. And I am giving small notch in the front arm to identify the front part of the sleeve to attach to the yoke part. Now the lining part is done, cutting of the lining part is done. Next we are going to start with the cutting of main fabric. So this is the main fabric I am going to use here. Fold the required amount of main fabric. Already we have given the seam allowance, all the measurement exactly in the lining. Just like that you can place the lining on the main fabric and cut and take out. So back pattern should be on the folded side, front pattern can be on the open side or folded side. Finally you can cut and open the front part. Secure the fabric with the pins, so when we are cutting, the fabrics will not move away. So I'm just cutting the extra fabrics which is around to disturb. So now you can easily cut and take out the pattern. So no need of any gaps in between the pattern. So I just moved the front pattern and pinned again, because the lining is having the exact measurement what we need. So if you are a beginner, you can just leave some extra fabric in the main fabric and cut. So after connecting the fabric to the lining, you can trim off the extras. So if you have good practice in sewing, then you can cut the exact measurement of the main fabric. So the main fabric is cutting is done. Next we have to cut the sleeve pattern. So one folding and again one more folding. For sleeve you should have 2 folding and 4 openings, which means 4 layer of fabric. Place the sleeve in the folded side like this, pin it all over. Like we did for the yoke part, cut the exact marking like this. So the yoke part cutting is done. So let's start with the cutting of skirt part. So lining and main fabric you have to cut. First, take a waist round measurement. For example, if your waist round is 20 inch and you have to cut the lining 20 into 2, 40 inch. So if you want more flare, you can cut the lining 20 into 3, which means 60 inch also you can cut. So what calculation I am doing here is waist round into 2 calculation for the lining. I don't want much flare in the lining. So I am going to take the measurement of waist round into 2 for the length of the fabric, and the height is the skirt length. Whatever skirt length you want, you have to take. So the main fabric skirt length is 15 inch, means the lining should be 2 inch lesser than the 15 inch. Okay, so the lining should be 2 inch lesser than the main fabric. That's the basic measurement. So if the main fabric height is 15, the lining fabric height should be 13 inch. The length of the fabric where we are going to keep the pleats, right? Waist round into 2 for the lining, and for the main fabric I am going to cut waist round into 3 or 4. So if you are having more fabric, you can cut waist round into 4 so that you will get more pleats. So here I am having only less fabric, so I am going to cut waist round into 3 and I am going to keep only less pleats. So here I am cutting the skirt in that way only. So anyhow, what I am going to do is the lining part, if I am reducing the height, so if I am cutting the height means also the fabric is going to get waste. So I am going to just fold and stitch the bottom. So here the waist round into 2 measurement for the pleat and height is going to be same, just I will fold and stitch. So I am just writing and show you because the calculation were not clear in the camera. Waist round into 2 for the lining fabric, waist round into 3 or 4 for the main fabric. If you are having more fabric, you can even keep 5. Okay, waist round into 5. Okay, so let me cut with this measurement the main fabric. So I have to cut in the same fabric. I have to do 3 skirts. So I'm just running out of fabric. So I'm just making the calculation as waist round into 3 here. So the length measurement for the pleats is done. Now open the fabric and calculate the height of the skirt what you need. So height what I need is 28 inch here. Mark 28 plus 1 inch for bottom folding or on top for attaching the belt. Bottom I am not going to fold and stitch because the bottom finishing is very neat here with the orange color. So I am not going to fold and stitch the bottom. So I am giving extra 1 inch buffer on top to stitch the belt for the hook and eye. So I am just marking and trimming off the extra fabric. So this I will use for my younger daughter skirt. Now you can see. So this is our skirt, main fabric and lining fabric. Let's move on for stitching now. So before going to the stitching, I thought of changing a design at back side. Instead of dot, I am just going to give a back open and bow here. So when I am drafting, I didn't have this idea. I thought of giving a simple design, but now I thought I can give some bow at back with back open, backless blouse like that they will say. It's not going to have complete back open, so it's called backless blouse, backless top or backless blouse. So this height what I'm marking is for my requirement. If you want more height, you can just go till top also. I'm just making it mild curvy like this. So leaving 1 centimeter or 1/4, cut the extra fabric like this. So for bow to attach in the middle of this place, you have to cut. The width of the bow should be 5 inch and the length of the bow should be 12 to 15 inch. Cut and keep the fabric. Let's move on for the stitching. Okay, so this is the fabric I have cut for the bow. So the length of the fabric here I have taken is 12 inch and the width of the fabric is 5 inch. Take one fabric like this, and this is wrong side. Fold the wrong side outside and right side inwards like this. Wrong side should be outside. And you know how the bow shape will be, it will be like some sharp point in the edge. So I'm just giving that shape like this. And 1 centimeter in the side to join, 1 centimeter or 1/4 it can be. So draw the shape like this and stitch on the line. So drop the needle and turn to the other side. Lock it and finish it in the end. Now give notches and turn inwards out. So now very close to the stitch, leave 1/4 and cut the extra fabric like this. Give the cut near the sharp point where we need the turn and notches like this. And again give a cut near the turning point. So wherever you want that sharp point finishing, you have to give a cut. Now using some screwdriver or pencil, just turn inside out. So just open the fabric like this and keep the pencil in between the fabric and just give a pressure like this. So the fabric will turn inside out automatically. Like you have to pull it like this. So after turning like this, the end should be, the shape should be like a bow with a sharp point finishing. So again you can leave the pencil inside and make the sharp point. So if you can able to pull the fabric out, yes you can pull it, but it's better to leave the pencil inside like this. And make it sharp like this. So now after getting the proper shape, iron it neatly, and if you want you can give the top stitch. So if you don't want the stitch to be visible, you can just iron it and leave it. So I'm going to give a top stitch here. Give the top stitch in the extreme edge of the bow in the same shape. So likewise prepare one more fabric like to get a bow. Lock it and finish it. Okay.